Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 20th annual People Who Care event. I'm Heather Brandt, board chair at Transitions and human resources manager with Wagstaff. Thank you so much for joining us today here, either in person or virtually. I think it's so exciting that for our 20th year event that we're able to be back in person and virtually, which we learned how to do during the height of COVID. Please continue to receive and enjoy your meals and eat, or eat at home if you're virtual, while I introduce today's focus. For those in the crowd who are new to Transitions, let me give a brief overview. Transitions has 6 programs that work to end poverty and homelessness for women and children in Spokane. Those programs include the Women's Hearth, a daytime drop-in center located in downtown, Miriam's Hearth, a transitional living program for single women, TLC, transitional apartments for moms and their kids, EduCare, a low-cost trauma-informed educational child care center, New Leaf Kitchen and Cafe, a commercial kitchen and barista job training program, and the Homeyard Cottages, permanent supportive housing for families and individuals. We also newly provide case management support to Cinto Commons, a housing development created by Community Frameworks. The transitions value that we're celebrating this year is growth and wholeness. We believe each individual is a work in progress on a journey towards integration of mind, body, and spirit with the hope of financial stability, emotional, physical, and spiritual peace. Today, we're going to celebrate growth that's taken place at transitions over the past year, as well as in the lives of folks who have come through our programs. Before we take a little time for lunch and fellowship, I'd like to thank our event sponsors. They've been such great partners who truly believe in the work that Transitions does. Those sponsors include Bill and Mary Murphy, Kalispel Tribe of Indians and Northern Quest Casino, Providence, Rogue Heart Media, Sisters of Providence, Bernardo Wills Architects, Sinsinawa Dominican Sisters, Canopy Credit Union, Catholic Charities, Garco Construction, Horizon Credit Union, Sisters of St. Francis of Philadelphia, STCU, YMCA, Avista, BECU, and Ware Law Office. Heartfelt thank you to Transition sponsoring communities, who are also our founders and the reasons Transitions exists today. They are Sinsinawa Dominican Sisters, Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary, Sisters of Providence, and Sisters of St. Francis of Philadelphia. I'd also like to give a hand to all of our public servants, elected officials, and candidates present. Please stand up if that includes you, and thank you for your service and your support. And now, thank you to all of you for being here in person or virtually, and for making this event meaningful, exciting, and successful.
Well, hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
How long have you been volunteering here at the Women's Heart? Well, hi, Rebecca.
I've been actively again this period since before COVID. And since COVID ended, I've been able to transfer back into volunteering.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I think you and I
came here in 2009, my bachelor's program at Eastern. It was great.
Yeah. So you've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Marie Pizzello Award?
I have not.
Okay, well, I'm really happy to tell you about it because we are honoring you with the Marie Pizzello Award.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yay!
So this is a certificate.
Thank you.
Marie Pizzello was a really special volunteer here at the Women's Hearth. She was probably one of our very first volunteers.
Oh.
And she worked at the front greeters table for many years and really exhibited so many qualities, and we boiled down some of those qualities to things that we look at in other volunteers: compassion, welcoming, creativity, and we've all here at the Hearth decided that you exhibit those qualities in spades, and wanted to award you this because of your service to us, your willingness to jump in and do anything for us, the cooking, and your secret specialty of being able to spice a soup like nobody's business is legendary around here.
Thank you.
And all the efforts that you, and I think your mother did too, in making masks during COVID.
Thank you.
When masks were not available and so hard to find, you guys stepped up and really helped us get through a really hard time. So we just want to thank you for all your years of service and the compassion and the creativity and really the warm welcome that you give the women every day when you're here.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you very much.
Oh, how lovely.
And this is a reproduction by Ginger Oaks. And it's a reproduction of the dancing woman that is entitled Spirit Dancer, that was one of the sculptures that Marie Pizzello made, that is in one of our sculpture cabinets
I've seen
here.
it and I recognize it.
So now you
yes.
have the reproduction to take home with you to remember the hearth.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm flabbergasted and honored, and thank you so much. It's been an incredibly enriching experience to be able to volunteer. So thank you so much.
urban development. $350,000 loss annually. We rolled up our sleeves and figured it out. The connections that these folks had in our community and the thoughtful values-focused leadership that they exhibited every day made my life so much easier and the organization so much more effective. You know, if you've been on the management team at Transitions, would you stand up real quickly? Show them who you are, even if you're not there now. Yeah. Oh, that way? Oh. Okay. We'll get this by the end. In the winter of 2016, we moved everyone out of Miriam's house and into TLC so we could completely renovate the HVAC and electrical systems, remove the carpet, and redo the floors. Here you see the Move Her van and staff ready to help us. The truck did get stuck in the snow a few times. but we successfully got everything out of that building during a snowstorm. Move Her is just one example of the incredible community support we have to ultimately move our folks into housing. And since 2010, we've helped nearly 1,000 families move into permanent housing. Yeah. Okay, this one's a mouthful for me. During my 10-year tenure, I keep looking at it like, did I write that? I'm proud to say we renovated not just Miriam's house, but also both sides of a duplex we own, the Women's Hearth, with new countertops and new flooring twice, a sewing room and new lighting, the TLC kitchen with the help of KXLY Extreme Team, and the TLC family room with the International Design Guild. We redid Educare's kitchen and classrooms with Department of Commerce money that when we had help from Andy Billig in the legislature to insulate the attic at TLC and seal the bricks on that historic building. And that's not even all of the construction projects we did, but we only have so much time, so I'm going to stop. Just one of the many amazing people who have served on our board, Stephen Jarvis, is a CPA with a young family and no time. He, like so many others and many of you, make us a better place by the incredible insight and knowledge that he provided to transitions. Thanks to all of you who are willing to serve even when you don't have time. You took the skills we have and expanded them astronomically, whether in HR, finance, development, program quality improvement, or facilities. Thank you so much for your time. John Chatburn, you're back there, right? For over a year, I met weekly with this crazy group and came to love them. They are the Community Frameworks developer, our Heilman Martin architects, and the Walker construction crew on the Homeyard Cottages project. Dan, the second from the right, did over 50 tours of the property, basically whenever I asked him to do it. I don't know if he really got any work done because he was doing tours. They calmed my nerves, helped me make difficult decisions, and kept humor alive when we had to bring in 20 or 40 tons of dirt. I can't say enough about them. They cared deeply in what we were doing and wanted the cottage homes to be perfect. Believe me, they are. So John and Ed are here from Walker. Would you guys stand up real quick? And John Chatburn is from Community Frameworks. Please stand up. Thank you. We had an incredible team. It's something I really value. Okay, now, here they are, the same group, looking at a hole. This became kind of an infamous moment of four men staring at that hole. So I had to show that picture, sorry. They eventually figured it out. Frankly, I'm not really sure what it was, but they figured it out. Soon after the tenants moved into the Homeyard Cottages in 2018, I was walking to my car and noticed Christmas lights on one of the cottages. I was struck by how profound this was, that someone had invested in their new home. It was theirs. I know how important that feeling is to me, to have a safe place, a place that I imbue with my family pictures, artwork, anything that makes it me. These lights reminded me that everyone wants that opportunity. And for 24 families, we created forever homes that they could love and make their own. Marched in the MLK March, and we went to Olympia to advocate for system change and bring the Eastern Washington perspective to the Hill. Okay, here Carol Allen, a forever volunteer and retired nursing professor. shows her pride in what she had just done in Olympia. Yeah, that's pretty great. We advocated for increased housing trust fund money and changes to early learning funding. And Carol Allen's here today. Will you wave? She's right down there. Okay, we took alums with us to Olympia and stayed in a church camp facility, Gwenwood, for some of you who know that. So it was a dormitory setting. The second year we took earplugs. And sometimes the decision makers came to us. Here you see Marcus Riccelli, 3rd District Representative, paying a visit to Educare, sitting down there in those little chairs. And here's Tim Ornsby, also a 3rd District State Rep, holding a baby in a Santa hat. He was with us as part of a Justice Circle to discuss changes in the law regarding CNAs and child care workers. In my house growing up, we didn't have a lot, but we had seasonal celebrations. An Easter egg dyeing was one of those. Most years, I also did that with the women at the hearth and the families at TLC. I loved watching the joy that came over their faces. For the women, I think sometimes it was reminded of a positive piece in their childhood. And for the children, sometimes it was a whole new tradition that was totally new to them. I got as much out of these experiences, I think, as any of our participants. Okay, we did a crazy thing. Well, this is one crazy thing we did, but it was a big one. With the onset of COVID, we realized we had to start a school. We didn't have any money to do that, but we knew we had so many children who had significant barriers to learning, and sitting in front of a computer alone was not going to help make that any better. So the TLC Family Room became a school, and as it turned out, COVID relief money ended up covering most of the costs for that. I will be forever grateful to the staff and volunteers who agreed to just do this. I wish I knew where all those 20 children would end up, because I'm sure we made a huge difference in their lives. So I'm really proud of us for starting that school. Okay, this was on a whim, as they say. The city had closed 2nd Avenue to do road repair. You probably remember that it was closed forever, it seemed like. It was a hot August, and we spent $40 to buy 80 pounds of snow. And we had a snowball fight in front of the hearth. We also made a snow woman. I mean, it was in front of the hearth, so we had to do that. And then we made snow cones. One year, the women were out front giggling and throwing snowballs, and one woman threw her cherry syrup snow cone in my face. So with the sticky syrup sliding down my cheeks, I realized that she hadn't really played or laughed in a long time. And she kind of lost control. But it made me aware, on me, it made me aware of how important laughter and play are to all of us. And I was a mess, but frankly, it was definitely worth it. Okay, this is another from that time on 2nd Avenue when it was closed. The juxtaposition of the crazy costumes with the chaos of the street signs reminded me how many of us face so many distractions, often confusing us. There was an irony here of Halloween revelers caught in the mess of construction. And life is just like that sometimes. One thing I think we do at Transitions really well is to try to make the best of those confusing situations. And sometimes laughing at situations is the best we can do. Okay, my predecessors, Dia Maurer and Julie Hohenkamp. They left a tremendous legacy that made my job easier. Thank you for your amazing leadership and support before and during my tenure. Would you all stand up for just a minute? I know, I got the mic. I was blessed to have such supportive women religious during my tenure too. The board of members made up of representatives from each of our sponsoring communities enriched my life, held my hand during turmoil, and held hands in prayer routinely and were my rock. Blessings to these many wise women who shepherded me through the years. You know, none of these stories are about our housing measures or our employment numbers. All of these pictures are really about connecting to people. I think that's what we do, what our values do. And I will be forever grateful for working at a place that valued people over product and values over the bottom line. So thank you for being here today, and thank you for this amazing opportunity. And Emily, Emily, come on up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily. Thank you for being here today. So after I barely finished high school, I moved out and got an apartment. It soon turned into a party spot, and in less than a year, I got kicked out. I made bad decisions when it came to men and friends. I struggled to keep a job and a place to stay. I eventually quit trying to look for either one. I continued to use drugs and participate in risky behavior, and I ended up in jail. Eventually, I got pregnant at 24 years old, and I knew I had to do something. So I did. I quit using, and I started asking for help. And I had to start living a life I could tell my son about. I remember getting the call from Transitions saying that I could move into TLC. I had a home for us so that I could focus on our future. While at Transitions, I learned the importance of setting goals and accomplishing them. Having a child motivated me to become a new person. Transitions gave me the tools I needed to overcome the many challenges I faced as a single mother with a criminal history. I was uneducated, had little to no job history, and I knew I wanted to go back to school, but I didn't know where to start. Because of the incredible staff at TLC, I was able to enroll in Spokane Falls Community College. I entered a new phase in my life. Sorry. I fell in love with education, and it gave me the confidence I needed to pursue my dreams. The year and a half I lived at TLC was absolutely pivotal in my life. After Transitions, I was able to successfully get a car and move into my own apartment. My landlord took a chance on me, you know. I worked at the library at SFCC and Jiffy Lube while I was going to school, and I was motivated to create distance from the person that I was to the person I wanted to be. I kept my GPA high, and I applied to Gonzaga University. I was given a generous enrichment scholarship and invited to study there. Thank you. It was at Gonzaga where I found myself among some of the most intelligent and compassionate people I had ever met. I had no idea how hard it was going to be, but I was giving it my all. I graduated in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in environmental studies. So I had my first job lined up, and I started within a week after graduation. I worked for the Spokane County Noxious Weed Board. If anyone has ever gotten a letter, I'm sorry. So you know. Okay. So I worked there, and in the summer of 2016, it was really hot and dry, and my territory continued to catch fire. I was terrified, I noticed that the fire department was looking for volunteers. I was terrified to apply because I had a criminal history, but I applied anyway. They took a chance on me, and I'm so grateful they did. Sorry. Since then, I've had so many opportunities to prove to myself and others that people do change if you just give them a chance. I'm an EMT, a volunteer firefighter, and a driver operator for my department. All this while maintaining a full-time job and being a mom. Thank you. You guys are so great. So my full-time job for 5 years, I worked for a landscaping company, and I quickly moved to management. just by chance, I got a call saying that TLC was looking for a company to fertilize their lawn. I arrived to bid out the property and shared my story with Randy, the maintenance director. Is Randy here today? He's working, of course he is. So there he was so excited to hear about where I was in life, and he took me around to every building, introduced me to all the staff, and he's like, welcome back. I'm like, you guys have been doing great things since I lived here. So obviously when Sarah reached out to me and asked if I would speak about my experience at TLC, I said absolutely without hesitation, having no idea I would be speaking in front of 450 amazing people today. I would have done it regardless, because a younger version of myself would have never imagined such a fulfilling life. I attribute so much of my success to the foundational skills I learned while at TLC, and people no longer have to take a chance on me. I have some credibility now. The program works. It did for me, and it will for others. The work that Transition just does for individuals and our community as a whole is inspiring. I can't thank you enough all for being here today to support these programs and what they accomplish. All right, Gage, it's your turn.
Wow, there are a lot of people here. Can you hear me okay? All the way in the back? We good? I got a kind of a loud voice, so I think you'll hear me just fine. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Gage Spicer, and first I want to thank everybody at Transitions for allowing me the option or the opportunity to share my story with you all today. Whew. It's going to be hard, so bear with me, all right? I'm very happy to see that the People Who Care event is back in person after 2 years of being virtual, and still hello to everybody who's virtual as well, but I mean, 450, 500, a lot of tables and a lot of people. All right, so let's get started. This is a journey, all right? So in 2012, my family lost our house to foreclosure. I was 12 years old at the time, and due to shelter rules, I could not stay with my mom and my sister because I was a 12-year-old boy, and it was assumed that I would cause a ruckus and do some nastier things that I won't mention here. So my mother and my sister went to a shelter, and I and my father had to stay somewhere else. Eventually, my mom and my sister were able to stay with a friend, but they weren't able to take care of all of us, so I had to go stay with my aunt, who was not able to take care of all of us as well. I had lost my family. I was separated, and I didn't get to enjoy the things that you get to do with your family. We stayed like this for a while, around 9 months, until my mom applied for a transitional living center. We were accepted into the program, and since HUD's rules had changed at that time, Housing and Urban Development, for those who don't know, federal agency, they're great. I'll get to why I said that a little later, what I do now. I was the first 13-year-old boy to live at Transitions, and I was able to be with my family again. I remember the first time that I sat down with my family and had dinner at Transitions. First time in months. Love and the connection, you can't replace that. It's something our family values. We enjoy sitting and having dinner together. We share our best moments of our day, our worst moments of our day. And it's something that I had been deprived of for a very long time. Transitions provided a stable environment for us to grow. I was able to take part in extracurricular activities at school. I did marching band, I was in robotics, and I was only able to do that because some strings were pulled and some people paid for that. And I'm very grateful to everybody at Transitions for making that happen. I remember, I'm 13 years old, first year at high school. I lied about my address so I could get into a high school that I wanted to go to, Central Valley High School. And I had some help from the McKinney-Vento liaison, Leslie Cameron Gould. God bless her. I would get up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. I would go wait at the city bus stop that was close to Transitions, I think it's 22, and I would ride down to the plaza, and hopefully this isn't taking too long. I'd ride down to the plaza, I'd get onto the 90, I'd ride out to the Valley Transit Center, and I'd get onto the 97. So 2 hours, 3 hours later, I'd get to high school, and I was always 5 minutes late to my first period, and my first period teacher just did not get it, but that's okay. I was happy. And so on certain days, 2 days a week, I'd stay, Tuesday and Thursday, I remember this quite clearly, I'd stay until about 8 o'clock at night at the high school because there was all the extracurricular activities. So I'd get home around 10 o'clock at night, you know, it's 2 hours on the city buses, which are great. Very happy that there was transportation available. And then I would, the night staff at Transitions would let me into the computer lab. They'd let me sneak in there and finish my homework. And then I'd get back up at 4 o'clock in the morning again. And I was only able to do that because I had my family. I had love and I had support. And I don't know how I did it still. I mean, I couldn't do it now. It's that youthful vigor, huh? Transitions provided a sense of community to me and my family, and a level of support and understanding that would not have been without. Transitional Living Center provided a safe, stable home environment for me, allowing me to enjoy these things. I'm still, oh, I already said that, excuse me for a second. All right, sorry, I had to flip the page. Now, where am I currently? So currently, I am the Youth Advisory Board Coordinator at an organization called Better Health Together. Thank you. I work with youth and young adults who have experienced homelessness, creating change and advocating on behalf of youth and young adults in the community. We seek to ensure a future where no youth or young adult will ever face homelessness. My time at Transitions grew within me a desire to help others be the best they can be, to provide opportunity and assistance wherever necessary, and to create environments that allow growth and positivity for all. I want to thank everybody here today for bearing with me as I choked up a little bit, for giving me this space, and I want to thank all of you for giving me your attention. I also want to thank my mom and my aunt who are here today. For without my family, I would not be here today, and I am forever grateful. Thank you. I think we've got a video now.
When our women start this program, a lot of them are very insecure. When our women start this program, the growth that they receive in this program is just utter confidence. We have women who have never set foot in a cafe before and who have never been able to feel safe in something like that, grow and flourish into this beautiful person who can explain what a macchiato is, what a cortado is, and they feel fancy knowing it. Being in our program for the amount of time that they're in it, they really truly grow and become into something wonderful.
I enjoy getting to practice my latte art. I won't say I mastered it, because I would have to say I mastered it if I did it a couple times in a row, but at least the last couple times I've been able to make a heart. Every time I'm excited when a heart comes, I have to tell the customer, can I take a picture before I give it to you? Because I want to save it.
Thank you.
And I've struggled. Freshman year of college is when I first got diagnosed with a mental health illness. I've been in and out of hospitals. Sad to say, I've lost count of how many times. And it's something I don't want to go back to. And coming to New Leaf, I have got to build my confidence. I am grateful to say that I am stable now.
A lot of women just don't have that support system, and I get that told every day, like that they're so happy that we're here. Being able to grow as transitions, that's the one thing I'm excited about, is meeting new people and helping more women.
I think I was just really excited to see it happen. I mean, July 11th has been in my brain for months now, so to actually see it happen, and then to see the road closed off and all the people out there and a lot of moms and kids and people in wheelchairs. I mean, it was just kind of lovely, like sort of like a slice of Spokane population that was just really lovely to see.
We couldn't do this alone, so thank you for being here for us so that we can open up this cafe. In the last year, New Leaf has employed 32 people, so that's part of our agenda, is to help people get trained so that they can find employment in the community. As you go through, there's some free cookies and coffee in there for you later on as you tour. But again, we're thrilled to be here. We really think we can make a big difference in the people who come to the library and use it, but also may be looking for services, and we're here to support them. So thank you so much. We're thrilled to be a part of the library.
I mean, we've been working on this for 5 years, and every step, I think it was a commitment from the library to bring a partnership that would help some of the people who hang out here, but also bring good food to the neighborhood. The library staff are very comforting and they're welcoming, and that sort of fits with our philosophies too. This is a great match. We have both the managers from the 2 sites, cafe sites here, and their supervisor, and then we have a trainee here too, so they're all getting to experience that. This is real, this is exciting, and this is how it's going to go from here on out, because we are assuming this will be a very busy site for us.
I'm super excited about everybody coming in, and the baristas getting to have a little bit more experience having a busier cafe. My name is Mariah, and I just got a new position at Transitions as a cafe manager. Transitions seen something in me that I didn't even see in myself. When I came into Transitions, they gave me a home, they gave me job training. It just gave me a purpose in life that really kept me going and kept me sober, and I have almost 5 years now.
If we can hire alums to work for us, that's a commitment on our side to show that we respect the work that happens and the work the individual does and where they've come from. And in Mariah's case, I mean, she lived at the cottages, she came through the Hearth, she came through community court, and then she went to New Leaf and got this training, and she's been the manager of another site in the Safeway building. And for her to then apply, I can't tell you the feeling of that. It was just like, gives me goosebumps actually. They're invested in us and they want us to be part of their life, and now we are, and how cool is that?
Transitions as a whole really supports growth and wholeness with all of the opportunities we offer. And like, we have Mariah, who has done wonderful things, and she is also a great example to my girls of how you can be whole in this circle and kind of start from homelessness and then get housing, get a job, and move on, and be able to move on in life and thrive.
Growth doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time, and it takes lots of love and support from the community and from programs like Transitions. And I had to walk through the steps myself, but Transitions helped me along the way. I have a beautiful daughter that I love so much. I have a husband who treats me really good. I have the life that I've always dreamed of. Socializing with people and making their day through coffee was my dream, and something I really enjoyed. I also wanted to give back and become a community services provider, and this job is both. So it's like my ultimate dream job here. So I found my perfect job for me, and I get to help women who are walking through the same path of life that I once walked through, and hopefully I get to save some lives working this program. Graduating from our program opens up so many doors of opportunity for women. It gives them that chance to feel confident in themselves.
Today we are here to celebrate our trainees graduating our program. Yay! They have been in our program for 6 months and have worked so tremendously hard to get where they are today. So first off, I'm going to talk about Miss Abigail. Through her strength and everything within her, she finished. She's one of our strongest baristas and comes up with the most beautiful latte art. And I'm so, so excited to have her graduate today. So, Miss Abigail.
I think we all have experienced not being whole, and maybe that's where we can relate with when maybe we can't relate with homelessness or domestic violence or some of these really extreme situations that we find our people in. We can relate to a sense of just not feeling like you're in the right place or in the right moment or doing the right thing. Having a graduation is a really special thing to teach, that it is important to celebrate these milestones in your lives and be proud. We can be proud of the growth that Transitions has had. We can be proud of the growth that we as people have had over the past couple of years, and just how we've banded together to get through and thrive, not just survive. I hope that we continue to keep celebrating.
That's a really cute one.
I could say that I can come from out of graduating from this program that I am capable of succeeding something, and I look forward to seeing what happens in my life.
I'm honored to be able to work for Transitions and New Leaf to help people grow and start a new life. Transitions made me feel really special and important, and it got me where I am today, and now I'm living the life I always dreamed of.
Okay, I'm back and I've got some friends with me. This is my mom and this is Emily, of course, who you know. First off, I want to say
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to New Leaf staff and participants for sharing on camera, and Rogue Heart Media for yet another moving video about the amazingly resilient people served at Transitions. Most of you don't know me yet, but you know part of my story because you met my son. And you know a little bit of this story. My name is Angela Chapman, and I'm the mom. I'm excited and a little scared to be up here today to ask you all to invest into Transitions. But I can tell you, it's one of the best investments you'll make. I went from homelessness to renting at TLC to working at TLC and then working at Transitions Administration. I now have a career at Providence Community Clinic where I'm working with the most vulnerable of our homeless population. I'm proud to say that after experiencing homelessness due to foreclosure, my husband and I just bought a house in this summer for the first time since.
my mom and I both now work with people experiencing homelessness and have seen firsthand the change and opportunities that Transitions makes in our community. So we would like to ask you all to donate today to this organization that supported us and that we now in turn get to support. At your table captain or designee, who I think they'll make themselves known, can hand out the pledge envelopes to fill out, or you can donate online by scanning our QR code with your phone camera. It's on the back of those cards that are standing up on your table. It's totally up to you if you'd like to use the paper form or the online form. Both have one-time or recurring giving options.
If you're updating a pledge or recurring donation that you already have, please use the paper envelopes. If you're watching online, there's a link to the giving page on YouTube live stream's description on our event webpage at helpforwomen.org/PWC2022, or you can email info@helpforwomen.org to have us send you a pledge envelope. Most of what's on the giving form is pretty straightforward. We need your name, address, phone number, email address, all that good stuff. And you'll just, if you're pledging to do a monthly or recurring donation, there is a calculator if necessary.
For example, if you want to donate $20 per month for a year, be sure and enter that $20 amount. Select monthly as the frequency with a total of 240, since that's what you'll be donating over the course of the year. The total is very important to the finance folks.
Another example is if you want to donate, say, $1,000 per year for 5 years, just check that box on the paper pledge envelope and select your frequency. Or on the online form, enter $83.33 in the dollar amount. That's 1,000 divided by 12. I didn't know that either. It's just told on the paper for me. With a monthly frequency for a total of $5,000. We put calculators on your tables just in case you need a little extra help. Any recurring donation is very much appreciated and makes you a member of the Society of Transitions Sustainers, very cool name, which is a group of dedicated donors at Transitions. You'll get some extra information each year about the organization, but you won't get spammed for being a part of this honorary group.
For those filling out the paper pledge cards, please seal them and hand them over to your table captain or designee. Table captains, please place all the pledge cards, even the blank ones, into your 6x9 folder. Seal it and sign along the seal, and turn that into one of the staff standing at either one of the exits. I think most of you already know the drill. Thank you all for being here today, in person and virtually, supporting Transitions with your time, and a thank you to those who were able to donate to such an incredible cause.
And thank you for today's volunteers, staff, event sponsors, board members, and table captains. This work isn't possible without you.
And please be sure to take that cookie on your table if you haven't already eaten it. It was made special just for you by the New Leaf Kitchen.
Thank you and have a great day.